Hi guys, and thank you so very much for joining me here on this channel where I'm practicing true sidereal astrology. I'm using the accurate measurements of each zodiacal constellation, just as they are absolutely unique in their psychology and their qualities. They're also unique in their measurements. And the two main schools of astrology, Western and Vedic, or tropical and sidereal, have simplified the night sky and assigned a 30-degree measurement to each zodiacal constellation, when in fact some of them are only 13 degrees long. And in doing that, has decreased the level of accuracy in tracking planetary transits and in understanding ourselves and our lives at the most accurate level. So what I'm doing here is actually astronomically correct. A great example of this is that traditional Vedic astrology is reporting that Saturn's going to be entering into Pisces on the day of the eclipse, when Saturn has already aligned with Y Pisceum a couple of days ago. And so definitely has been in the shine of Pisces for at least a week and a half, and has just reached that first star of Pisces a couple of days ago. So it's well into Pisces already. So our solar eclipse is taking place on March 29th, 2025, 6:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in Pisces, around 21 degrees Pisces, in the nakshatra of Revati. And this is another discrepancy with traditional Vedic astrology, because they're saying it's in Uttara Bhadrapada. However, the nakshatras are fixed. They are hanging out in the fixed stars. And when we look at the correct measurements of the zodiacal constellations, it has altered where the nakshatras are in relation to the zodiac sign. So it's not that the nakshatras have moved, they are in place, but when we see the correct measurement of each zodiacal constellation, it slightly varies where the nakshatras actually are. So Revati is actually where this solar eclipse is taking place, which is pretty good news for us because it is a Mercury ruled nakshatra, and it has to do with closure. And I'm really feeling that with this eclipse, as this is the final eclipse on the Pisces Virgo axis. So this is a time of closure. It's a time of great introspection, considering that we have 8 planetary bodies in Pisces. So it's a time of great inward reflection, a time of closure, and we have 2 planets in retrograde, Venus and Mercury in Pisces. So it's also a time of patience. And Pisces is a deep water sign, has to do with healing and purification. So it's also a time of great healing. And there have been topics in our lives for the past 18 months that we have been healing, that we have been changing ourselves in service to our healing for. And this eclipse is a real closing of that, of all those lessons, and an integration, as well as a balancing, aka a karmic culmination. A karmic retribution is very shortly upon us all, as it relates to what we have been wrestling with, or have been challenged by in the past 18 months, as it relates to the specific houses for us as individuals that Pisces and Virgo rule. So this is a time of great consideration and of great reconsideration. We must take our time to heal and integrate over these next 6 months. We will all be incredibly sensitive during this solar eclipse. So I definitely encourage all of us to take care of ourselves spiritually, to have our boundaries. Pisces is a very psychic, very intuitive sign. So we can be picking up all kinds of stuff when we go out in the world. So definitely do your brushing techniques, your grounding, however you do your smudging of whatever specific plant allies that you prefer. This is a time to take care of ourselves, to have patience. And this is a time where we would do very well to learn to surrender and trust, as there can be a lot of illusions and delusions with Pisces. It can be a little confusing. I mean, the symbol of Pisces is one fish swimming one way, representing the beginning, and one fish swimming the other way, representing the ending. But it also has to do with Christ consciousness. So it's like this fluidity of, there can be illusions, but then there's great prolific insight. So the best thing that we can do is float, trust, surrender, go with the flow, because the other option is to drown. And we're not doing that. So it's time to get our trust and our surrender on. And so Revati, the nakshatra that this solar eclipse is taking place in, is symbolized by a drum, which is pointing to rhythm and cycles, and has to do with harmonization. So we are truly coming to an end of a cycle with this final eclipse on the Pisces Virgo axis, and we are becoming more harmonized with our life path and our life paths. And there has been some sort of a call to each of us that we will all hopefully be answering, that will put us more deeply, more firmly upon our path. This has been a time of great spiritual growth. Having eclipses on the Pisces Virgo axis is a very spiritual time, most especially on the Pisces side, because Pisces is that etheric water sign. It's the original owner of the 12th house, which is the house of liberation. It's the spiritual house that all souls incarnate through the beginning and disincarnate through the ending. So we have been tested spiritually the past 18 months and been asked to deepen our practices and deepen our faith and to heal a particular area in our lives. There is a very strong energy of divine protection associated with Revati Nakshatra. So some of us might think that we might be getting punished here because there's this karmic retribution coming up, this karmic culmination. Of course, that has to do with Saturn being in Pisces. But we might just get a kiss from the universe, a kiss of divine protection, especially for those who can truly surrender. A kiss is probably coming to you, you guys, of protection. So that is just like, I'm so glad it's happening in Revati. So yes, we're going to be getting into balance over these next 6 months. We're wrapping up our karmic lessons. We are wrapping up our spiritual lessons. We are wrapping up our healing in some very specific areas of our lives. And there can be a lot of emotions. I would say there's definitely be a lot of emotions at this time. So take very good care of yourselves and take good spiritual care of yourselves. Again, float and flow. Who knows, you might see a magical pod of dolphins swimming by you, metaphorically or maybe literally. but definitely metaphorically. So stay open to the magic of Pisces, stay open to the spirituality of Pisces, stay open to your own ability to heal. That's that Christ consciousness. Stay open, surrender, stay in trust, go with the flow. Enjoy this final eclipse, and congratulations. Congratulations on making it to this final eclipse in Pisces. And if you would like a personal reading with me to look at your true sidereal birth chart and to go over the themes of this eclipse with you, I would be so honored to do so. So you can book a reading with me on my Instagram on my Book Now tab. So sending you all just like so much love and trust and so much encouragement to truly surrender at this time. So much love. Ciao.